Hey friends, the planting season has officially begun here at Creekside Nursery. It is going to be a fantastic, furious next couple of weeks where we get all the things planted, especially like the annuals and loads of color. So guess what we're doing today? That is right. We are going to plant some gorgeous annuals in this really fun little flower bed that I have right here off of the patio. And then I have a unique stone trough that we are going to plant up with some gorgeous super bells. These are the ones that I am trialing for 2024. These will be the new introductions for next year. Proven winners, of course, sent those to us so that we can trial those out. So we're gonna have lots of fun today planting in both the landscape and the container, and I'm going to show you some tricks that I have learned over the past, how many years I've been doing this to ensure that we have got gorgeous flowers all season long in both the landscape and the container. Right here, we're going to start in the landscape. Last year in this space, it's kind of like not quite a triangle shaped bed. Behind it, I have 4 Chuck Hayes gardenias. I love them. They are fantastic. And then I have a 9 bark that my mama gave me years ago. She is loving life and is gorgeous. So in front of that, like I said, we had this kind of a odd shaped little flower bed that we use for annual color. The tulips were in here earlier. I did the Carnival blend from Color Blends this year. Spectacular. They are done, gone. They just had the stalks and there weren't any petals on top of them. Tulips for us here in the South, they are annuals. No matter what I do, they are not going to survive. I treat them as annuals. Talk to any Southern gardener. You do not have tulips that regularly come back, those big, large, showy spring ones. They just do not come back, so we treat them as annuals. Last night I was out here, cleaned up that flower bed, so it is ready to go. What we're going to do is we are going to amend it with our black gold raised bed mix. This, we love black gold. Black gold is manufactured by Sungrow, who makes all of our professional mixes. So black gold is their retail line that you can find all across the country. I know Ace Hardwares have them a lot, so they're very readily available. And so you should be able to find them local garden center, hardware store. I don't know about the big box stores. I don't think they're there, but just look around. Black gold is very well known. It is OMRI listed certified, organic. So unlike other companies that say that their stuff's organic, this is OMRI listed certified. So it goes through stringent testing and it is actually organic soil. Not that I need organic soil here and with doing my flowers, but this raised bed and potting mix, you can plant directly straight into it. Sweet customer Miss Pat came to me last week, and she was doing some raised beds on her deck where she is going to be planting herbs and vegetables. She wanted it organic. I gave these to her. She plants straight in them and they do wonderful. And but today I'm going to top dress this flower bed. I've got 2 bags. I'm just going to kind of throw it down, and then as I plant with my power planter auger, then that'll help mix it into the soil. But the raised bed mix, it has like aged forest products in there. It has compost. It has earthworm castings. It is really, really rich in nutrients. And whether you're doing herbs or vegetables or beautiful flowers, those plants need food, right? Food equals flowers. So when you have a really great healthy soil, guess what? You're going to have a really, really happy plant up top. And in this case, it means loads of flowers for me. So we're going to amend this. Jerry and I have learned that when you have your annual flower beds, right? So we do this in those beds where we're constantly putting annuals in, really for us it's 2 or 3 times a year, so it would be like spring into summer all the way into fall. I've learned not really to put pansies in here, but then I would put my tulip bulbs, right? So we're only talking about switching this bed out really like twice a year. So throw a bag down and mix it into your soil. It really, really makes a huge difference in those annual beds and just adds all that great organic matter back into your flower beds. So we're going to do that. Then I've got, I'm so excited. Years ago, when we first started doing proven winners, we started with and did some of their Sunstar pentas. Sunstar is kind of like the series, and then there's different colors in there. So we're doing Sunstar Rose today, which basically is like a hot pink. I think it is my favorite out of the line. There's the rose, there's pink, which is like a pale baby doll pink, a lavender, and then a red. The rose is just glorious, but all of the pentas, they call it burying their dead, because as it grows, it blooms, and then those blooms are, you know, they're beautiful and pretty, and then the plant grows a little bit more, and then it blooms again. So it hides all of the dead flower buds, right? And so you're constantly getting a fresh plant as it grows. They grow tall and wide and are covered in really nice size flowers. They are star-shaped, hence the sun star, but they're clusters of those star-shaped flowers. Makes a huge impact. Pollinators go nuts over it. So if you're looking to bring in your butterflies especially, this is a great one. And then of course your hummingbirds and your bumblebees and honeybees and all that. So we're gonna have a nice big backdrop of those Sunstar rose pentas, and then in the front we are going to do I feel like there's something crawling on me, y'all. It's 'tis the season, you know, like you feel something, and maybe it's a hair, or it could be a bug, it could be a spider, it could be a wasp, who knows? So you start to do like the bug dance. Do y'all ever do that, or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. All right, so Sunstars in the back, and then in the front we have one of my favorites. It is the Super Tunia Mini Vista White. So we're going to do a nice little carpet. I don't know exactly how I'm going to place this. I just know that I love that hot pink and that white together. And then that Mini Vista White is going to pull in, because all here at the patio with my raised beds, all along the raised beds on the edge is going to be the Mini Vista White. So we're gonna have Mini Vista White here, and then we're gonna have Mini Vista White in this bed, which you can see like they're very, very close to each other. So that all ties it in quite nicely. So we're gonna do that, and then over here we're gonna do that unique stone with the new super bells. So we'll do that later. But first, we're going to get everything set up, and I'm going to lay out my raised bed mix and then begin placing my plants, so that way I know exactly where the plants are gonna go. So when I aug my holes, it'll make it a lot easier. So can you tell I'm excited? This is just like fantastic. It's a gorgeous day. It's not too terribly hot. Just love this time of year. It's so exciting. All right, my friends, I think I'm very happy with that. So, pentas in the back, and then I did the Mini Vista White all on the edge. It's very, very scientific on especially the Mini Vista White, because I want it to be very balanced. So it is 1 of my feet length away from the edge, and then 1 foot between them. So roughly that's not quite 12 inches. It's probably like somewhere around 10 or 11. And then my Sunstar pentas, they are a little bit further apart, because they're going to get nice and big. They're probably more closer to the 16 to 18 inches apart. You of course could spread them as far apart as you want and have individual plants, or you can really pack them closer and have a mass. I am going for longevity, and knowing that these will be gorgeous all summer, and that these will completely fill in. Like they will all be like one huge mass. With the Mini Vista, it will be spilling over, and I'm imagining that it'll just trail over the edge of the the edging right here, I do not want it like way out far in the path. So that's why I put it 1 foot back. And then I gave myself plenty of space between my gardenias and my 9-bark, because last year when I had the lantana here, it was stunning and it was gorgeous, but it was growing into my poor gardenias and the 9-bark, and that I don't want that, right? I want these babies to shine and then the annuals to be the accent. So what we're going to do now, normally I don't put biotone down with my annuals. Today I just am feeling it. So what I'm going to do is just take some biotone and literally like just kind of like throw it on the ground, and then as I'm using my power planter, all of that will get mixed in. I feel safe using my power planter here with that great drill bit. It's the heavy duty tip, because the irrigation line it only comes to the shrubs. It's not within this flower bed. So I can see it just comes around here, and then we are good to go. If you were interested in the power planter auger, I always have that link in the video description. That is all that we use, both the drills and their auger bits. I use all the heavy duty tips because I have clay soil, but we have partnered with Power Planter. So if you click on that link, it will take you directly to my page, Jenny's Picks, on the Power Planter website. And so you will see exactly what I use, and then I give you a description, like when do I use the 5-inch, auger? When do I use the 7? When do I use the 9? Why do I like this drill? All of that. So if you're interested and want to know exactly what I am using, click on that link and it will take you to Jenny's Picks on the Power Planter website. So what I'm going to do is just sprinkle down the biotone, use my auger. I am using the 5-inch today because it'll give me a little bit of extra room with these grande size pots, and then just plop and go. Pretty easy. My friends, so the Mini Vista White and the Pentas are in the ground. Love, love, love it. I will show you the final product here in just a minute. We went ahead and moved on over here to this unique stone. This is the Norwich planter, and this is the large one. Nice big open trough. Love this. I had violas in here this winter. Gorgeous. It was all just the same viola. I said violas, didn't I say violas? I think I said violas. Hopefully I didn't say pentas. The heat's getting to me, y'all. It's almost lunchtime. The violas were gorgeous. It was just a mass planting. So that's what I'm going to do with the gorgeous. This is, and I brought my little handy dandy cheat sheet. It's not a brand new Super Bell. It is an improved. So Proven Winners is always looking to improve even their existing plants that are already in the line. I have a whole tray of 10 of them. I am not using all 10. I just brought them. So this is the Super Bells Pink Improved. Now, how do they improve it? Well, let me tell you. They have darker foliage and a little bit larger and more vivid color on the flowers. It is essential for container recipes, as they say. And it is an earlier bloomer. So you can see beautiful flowers right here. Nice, really rich, hot pink. I guess I would say those as hot pink with a yellow throat, a yellow center. So we're going to do a mass planting here. I have kind of figured out here, I was talking to Jerry, is we got to do colors in large blocks. It works really well out here. So I'm going to do like I always do on my containers and fill in the bottom third with my really great compost. I'm going to try to leave some in the bag so I can top dress. And this is the black gold garden compost. So we are using that and just zhuzh it in there. If there's any clumps, just break it up. I have found with this black gold, sometimes there are clumps in there, and that's just because they jam pack tons of product in the bag. So got the compost in the bottom, and then of course we use the Proven Winners potting soil to fill up the rest. A lot of y'all have been recently asking me about my garden belt. I always have that linked in the video description. Not affiliated with the company. I get nothing out of it. It is just that it's another North Carolina company, Wheeler Monroe, and they make these. So I'll always have that linked that you can go get your own. And this bag is heavy. So that's heavy, Megan.
I can just pour it.
Okay.
It's easier.
Okay. I have my beautiful garden assistant with me today. Not only does she run the camera for me sometimes, but she also holds a bag really well. She's also motivated because we're gonna go have some lunch after this. So she's like, oh, if I help her get done faster, then we can eat lunch faster. So I'll take whatever kind of help I can get, right, Megan?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Nope, a little bit more. I need it full, sister.
Is that full enough?
Sure, that'll work. Thank you, Dana. So like as Megan said, is that full enough? Yes, we want lots and lots of soil in our containers. Fill this baby all the way up with as much soil as it will possibly hold. When I pulled the violas out of here last night, y'all, literally the whole thing came out. The roots had completely taken over this whole pot, and it lifted out in two pieces just because I couldn't pick up the whole thing by itself. So we are going to do a mono container. So that simply just means when you say mono, that means the same, right? So we're going to use the same plant in mass. And by doing that, we are going to make a massive impact. So, and already I got a little pollinator right here. I think I can get 2 rows. It'll look very linear right now, but in about a week, you're not gonna see the individual clumps. You're gonna see just a mass of flowers. So when you do a mono basket, a mono container, a mono planting in your landscape, it does make a really nice big impact, especially from a distance. So when you have big open spaces and you see things from a distance and you want to do that, monos are the way to go. Now, do I love a good mixed container? Absolutely. Everything has its place. Today we're going mono. Oh my gosh, look how big this is, y'all. Stick it down in it. You may not see the individual clumps on this. Good golly, these things are huge. All right, so I'm gonna get the rest of them in here and I'll see you back here in a second. All right, my sweet friends, so today's project is complete. Y'all, I could not be happier with how this turned out. So just to give you a little bit of perspective, hopefully you can see that I am standing on the pathway, patio right here, roses behind me. Penta's Mini Vista White is right here. Love it. Megan came out and I told her, I was like, I'd like to say I planned this, but I really did not. How the Mini Vista White, the shape of this, really mimics the shape and had the placement of the Snow Princess Sweet Alyssum behind me. And of course they're both white and then they had that same shape. So ta-da, they all tie in together. We've already got some little pollinators on the Sunstar Rose, so that is really fun. This is just gonna fill in massive, massive color with those mini vista whites just kind of spilling out everywhere. It's going to be glorious. And then behind me, that Norwich planter from Unique Stone filled with the Super Bells pink. Y'all, it makes a huge impact just like that. Now, did I plant too many in there? Nah, time will tell. Who knows? But right now, it made a huge impact because those plants were so well branching. And as a grower, I like my petunias, well, any of my plants, honestly, to be nice and tight and well branched. They're not leggy and spindly. So that is a beautiful plant. There's actually 8 in there. So there are 8 plants in there. Instant fullness. The flower bed has irrigation. That one does. But that planter is not per se on irrigation. But I honestly foresee in order to really sustain and keep those looking beautiful all season long, it will not be hard for me at all to put a little drippers in there, just connect it to the irrigation. And so I can do that later on. Now, I know you're going to ask about watering. Yes, I am going to water that container in. I just didn't want to do that because the water kind of makes the flowers go down and doesn't look quite as nice. So I will water that. And then the ones that are in the landscape, beautiful thing is we've had lots of rain this past weekend. That soil was nice and moist, and it's going to rain tomorrow. So I'm not going to worry about it. Why work harder and do more work if you don't have to? So they are very happy. We'll hang out here. But this whole area is just coming together so nicely. In the last, 2 years, like 3 years ago, this space did not exist. And so it's been really within the last 2 years that we have gotten this space, and we absolutely love it. We come out here every late afternoon and just sit. We've been having dinner out here while the weather is nice and it's not crazy humid. So we are taking full advantage of this space back here and adding in all of these beautiful flowers and colors, and then the shrubs and just all of it coming together. We love it. We're enjoying it. So look for some pentas, those Sunstar pentas. They are so underused and underrated. Massive performers, do a great job. My southern folks or people that deal with Japanese beetles, they don't like these plants. So praise the Lord for that. You don't have to worry about Japanese beetles. And I've never even had aphids on my pentas before. So there is that. And so go out there and look for some Sunstar pentas, great in containers, and obviously the landscape. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.